In my last video, I shared with you fine folks how I went about making some grips for an old revolver that I had. The first step in this project was to sit down with my CAD software, which was Fusion 360, and draw up the grips to create a model that I could use to cut out on my CNC router. I've had Fusion for several years, and I felt that I was fairly proficient at it, but one thing I had always struggled with was lofts and splines and the like. And after about 3 weeks of constant failure on Fusion, I finally gave up. So I started looking at other CAD software available, and I first looked at the usual offerings that I was already aware of, like Blender and FreeCAD, SolidWorks, etc. And after watching tons of videos of those apps being demonstrated, I concluded that they were just as difficult to learn as Fusion, and some were just as expensive. But then I stumbled across this software that you see here called Plasticity. They offered a free trial, so I downloaded it and I gave it a spin. Folks, I got to tell you that this is the ticket if you're looking for a more simple solution than Fusion or the other big guys. Plasticity is incredibly intuitive and easy to use, and as I mentioned, that I spent about 3 weeks on Fusion trying to create these grips with no success, and after about only a week of learning Plasticity, I had the grips drawn up and I was already cutting out my first batch on the CNC router. So, now that I've said all that, my goal today is to show you how I drew these grips up on Plasticity. Now please understand, this won't be a tutorial on how to use Plasticity because I'm still learning it myself, but that in itself is a testament of how easy this is to use that a green guy like me, after only a week, was able to draw up these grips. And you need to know that this isn't the end-all be-all way of making pistol grips. There's probably a better method than this, and if you've already got experience with Plasticity, you probably know more about it than me. Don't talk bad about me, I'm still learning. So here we go. Now, if you want to give it a shot at making these grips like I did, you're going to need two things other than the software. First is you're going to need to pick out the style of grips that you want to make. Now, in this picture you see here, the left side of the gun is pretty flat and facing you. If it's not turned or anything, you'll need a pretty 2D photo of it, as close as you can get anyway. The second thing you'll need is a photo of the pistol you want to put the grips on. And as you see here, I laid out a ruler that I'll use to scale the picture in the software so that I know that I'm drawing the grips to the proper dimensions. And the first thing I did when I first started was decide on which plane that I wanted to use, and I decided on the plane that is named left here, as you see. And then I imported the picture of the frame of the gun that I'm going to use as a reference for drawing the grips up. And the first thing you need to do is scale it up to the right dimensions. And the reason why I took a picture of a ruler in it, because I'll draw a line that is exactly 1 inch as per what the ruler states. And then I'll add the ruler, the measuring tool, to this thing, and I will use those things to scale it up to the proper dimensions. And then I'll select the picture, the line, the measuring tool, everything, use the scale tool, and I will then scale it up to 25.4 millimeters, which is actually 1 inch. And you ain't got to be dead on accurate. Just get as close as you can. I ended up with 25.41, and that's close enough. Now the first thing I wanted to do was to create a 3D model of the gun. I don't need the entire gun, but I do need the stock of it or the butt of it. So what I did was just create a model of half the gun. So I used just the very top of the frame, right behind the trigger area, and then the bottom part of the butt to create a 3D model of the gun to use as a reference when I finally started drawing out the grips. Now on my first few tries of tracing out this frame, I did it on the absolute outer perimeter of the gun, and it didn't work out too well. So what I ended up doing is I'm just tracing around the flat area of the gun, and you're seeing that the bevel or the curve, the smooth outside of the edge there. We'll come back to that and I'll show you how I did that. And I'm not really worried about getting it exactly perfect there at the bottom of the butt, because it's not going to be shown anyway. The grip is going to cover it up. So as long as it fits, the grip fits on the stock, is all I was worried about. But up toward the top, in the stuff that you would see, I made sure that the bevel of the frame was as accurate as possible. Now when I extruded this, I measured the bottom half of the frame, which is thinner than the top half of the frame, and that thickness of the bottom half is 8.7 millimeters. So when I extruded this, I did a double extrusion, and both sides would be 4.35 millimeters. Now, just as I did with the lower half of the frame, I measured the top half of the thickest part of the frame, and it came out to be 13.9 millimeters, and I used 6.95 millimeters for each half of the extrusion. Now, to achieve the contours or the bevel on the outer edge of the frame, I used a tool called Raise Degree. It's pretty powerful, man. And then what I did is I just grabbed a few of the center nodes at a time and used the move tool to drag them up to where the bevel now matched the outline of the photo. And I didn't think that would work at first, but it actually worked out beautifully once I was done. I was very pleased. And that's how I created the contours on the outer edge of the frame. By the way, I want to mention, you guys, if you want to follow along, I've fast forwarded through a lot of this stuff. You can slow the video down in your YouTube settings for the video if you want to follow along at a better pace. So anyway, once I was done making the 3D model for the frame of the gun, then I imported the photo of the grips that I wanted to copy. And I used the scale tool to try to get the frame in the photo to the same size as the frame of my actual gun, and that would have given me a fairly accurate representation of how big the grips would be in real life. Now the next step in this process would be to trace the grips that I want to make. And in truth, I wasn't 100% crazy about these particular grips, but they were close enough to what I wanted. Plus, I didn't want to copy them exactly. I wanted to make them my own. I was just using the finger grips on the front as a reference, and of course the contour on the back. So I just traced that, and I changed some things up. And here I am just kind of determining how they would fit onto the frame of the gun. As you can see here, there's not a whole lot of wood there on the back. So what you'll see me do here in just a second, is when I trace the back part of the grip, once the line is completed, I'll move the line 2 or 3 centimeters to the right. So there will be just a little bit more wood behind the frame of the gun to make it sturdy. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll move that back line out just 2 or 3 centimeters just to make sure that I've got a little bit more wood behind the frame of the gun there after I draw it. Now you're about to see me draw 2 lines in the center of these 2 reference lines here, going straight up 90 degrees. This line right here, I'll use around 15 millimeters, and then the one at the bottom, I'll draw another one around 12 millimeters. And this is what I will use as a height reference when I create the guide rail lines for the loft that I will use to sculpt the grip. And here you're about to see the reason why I created a model of the frame of the gun, because I'll actually use that model to cut out the inside of the grip so that it matches the contour of the butt perfectly. And then finally, once I got the grip like I like it, I will export it as an object file, and then I'll use that to either 3D print it or to move it into Vectric to set up the tool path for my CNC router. Now, one thing to remember is it doesn't export everything automatically. There's some settings you need to remember. I exported the object file and I increased the density to 1, which is the max density that it'll do, and that is the best quality that you're going to get out of it. Anything less than that, and you'll see it's not as smooth. The STL model is not as smooth when you import it into your software. But there you have it. That's how I made this grip. I'm very pleased with Plasticity, and it has pretty much totally replaced Fusion as far as I'm concerned. I haven't opened Fusion since I got Plasticity, and I don't know if I'll ever need it again. And like I said, Plasticity is evolving by the day. I mean, it's already been 2 updates since I bought it just a little over 6 weeks ago, and they keep adding features to it. It's just an amazing software, and I highly recommend it if you want it. And again, this wasn't a tutorial on how to use Plasticity. It was just a demonstration of how I use it to create this grip. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. You guys take care. See you next time.